All right. Today we are going to dive in and talk about the second chapter in The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. This chapter is specifically about consciousness. It's called consciousness after all. And what we're going to do, we're going to break down exactly how consciousness creates reality. Um, in the previous live that we did yesterday, we talked about the I am. That's the name that God has called Himself uh, throughout all the ages. It's your name actually. Before you put on your human name, the name you have is I am. And as we discovered yesterday in talking about it, you might not know. You could have amnesia and not know where you are. You might not know uh, who you are, but you can never deny that you are. In other words, that you exist. Your awareness exists. That being said, we also added to that whatever you attach I am to, that I am to, that's what you're going to create in this world based on your state of consciousness or your awareness of being or your concept of self. Now, consciousness is the one cause substance. So, any result that you have in your life, you can look out into this world, any result you have is something that you yourself are holding on to in consciousness. So, one of the first things that Neville points out in this chapter is that um, consciousness, one, is the only cause substance, but what manifesting actually means, it means that it's what you are experiencing. So, whatever you say you are experiencing out here in this 3D world or internally in your imaginal world, that is what you are conscious of having, being, doing. Now, like a magnet, we can rearrange our mind, rearrange our consciousness to hold on to certain things. Um, if you magnetize steel, you're arranging the steel particles to magnetize like objects to it. Um, but if you change that arrangement, that steel won't attract, it won't be magnetized anymore if you change the arrangement of it. He doesn't talk about it in this book, but he's talked about it in other books and in his lectures about this whole idea of um, whether it's Einstein or Tesla or Elon Musk or Donald Trump or Kamala Harris or Hitler or Stalin or you name any of these characters throughout history, Napoleon, you name any of these characters, you yourself could take on that consciousness and become any of those people. But the only reason why you don't become those people is because of the arrangement of your mind. So if you can learn to change what you are conscious of, you will see a different result out in the world. Now, the thing is, a lot of times people run into this issue. Is like, well, I don't even know what I want. Well, you can actually have an uncritical observation of what's going on in this world to know what it is that you have accepted as true for yourself. And if it's something that's not to your liking, that in and of itself proves to you you have a desire for a change, a desire for something different. So let's say you have a jalopy of a vehicle and you want that new G-Wagon. Let's say I don't want a G-Wagon. I honestly don't know why anybody wants a G-Wagon, but let's say you did want a G-Wagon as opposed to a green jalopy. The only reason why you don't have the G-Wagon and you have the jalopy is because that's what you're conscious of. That's what you're allowing and accepting to be true about you. So if you want to turn, so Neville says this, You must turn from the objective appearance of things to the subjective center of things, your consciousness, if you truly desire to know the cause of the phenomena of life, and how to use this knowledge to realize your fondest dreams. In the midst of the apparent contradictions, antagonisms, and contrasts of your life, there is only one principle at work, only your consciousness operating. Difference does not consist in variety of substance, but in variety of arrangement of the same cause substance, which is your consciousness. So, again, whatever it is that you want to experience out here in this world, you must actually experience first within yourself and become conscious of that thing. And of course, as we dive deeper into this, we're going to explain this a little bit more, but I'll go ahead and say this. What you are conscious of as you fall asleep tonight, that you will harvest sometime in the near future, whether it's tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. And this is why we must persist in the consciousness of the man or the woman that you want to be. If you can persist in the knowing, in the consciousness of that thing, it is yours. This is why some people have an easier time manifesting things than others. So, I'm friends with a lot of manifestation coaches and teachers. These people are my colleagues. They're out here in this world doing amazing things, and they're master manifestors, if you will. But that's because they have a complete understanding that what they choose to accept is in fact a fact, and they don't have a lot of rational and logical reasoning to block those manifestations. Whereas somebody who might be new to this information might have unconscious, see, consciousness, unconscious beliefs that block them from actually achieving said goals. It's why some people are like, man, manifesting money is so easy. And then another person would say manifesting relationships is so easy, or manifesting health is so easy. And it's because they are conscious of the ease in manifesting those things. Whereas the person who struggles at any of those categories is conscious of struggling in any of those categories. Again, it's just a rearrangement of the mind. No human being that you ever run into no human being that you ever run into is how they are expressing in the world. What they are expressing, what you witness as them expressing, is their current state of consciousness. And if you can understand that, the person who's listening to this right now, if you can understand what I just said, that each person you're running into is expressing their current state of consciousness, you you will surpass so many people in this world as far as blessings for not just yourself but for them, because you would then know that they're only able to produce and express that which they are, and as soon as they change who they are, their expression of self will change. In other words, each and every one of us is the one I am, is God in the human suit, expressing itself as John Smith or Jane Doe. And if that person rearranged what they were conscious of, they would express something completely different. They would experience life completely different. How can we prove this? Let's say, um, let's say you walk into a room, there's 10 people in this room, and as you walk in, you feel like the energy in that room is down. You've walked into a space where the collective consciousness of that room is, let's say, expressing that energy that you, the individual you, is experiencing as low expressions, low vibes, whatever you want to call it. I don't like to deal in the terms like that, but let's just call it that. You walking in that room could raise your consciousness to a level that you would prefer in that moment. And if you persist in that consciousness, those others in the room will have to raise to match your consciousness. So, in other words, when you walk into that room, you have a choice of how you want to raise your consciousness. Do you want to raise the level up, or do you want to be brought down low with everybody else? As I'm talking about this, I'm actually thinking of a conversation I had with a buddy of mine a couple weeks ago who was telling me how, man, dude, it just feels like I have all these energy vampires around me. And I was just like, dude, why are you a victim to other people? You're conscious of people sucking your energy. If you actually change your consciousness that I bring blessings to whomever I find myself with, no one could be able to drain your energy. You're conscious of people draining your energy, and thusly your energy drops. No one can cause you to drop your energy. You allow it, you accept that state of consciousness. So, if y'all can understand that, the importance of this information is super clear. What you are conscious of having, being, doing is what you will express in this world. And if you're unsure of what it is that you're conscious of, have an uncritical observation of that which is around you and how you feel in relationship to that. So, if that was clear to you and you enjoyed this information, do me a favor, make a comment down below. Let me know what you got out of this and maybe even how you would even apply this. Also, do me a favor, like and share this video, and also subscribe. I don't have any type of fancy sign off yet or whatever, but we're rolling with the punches as I myself am rearranging my consciousness to match the reality that I want. And you who's watching this is here for the ride. All that said, you guys are awesome. I hope y'all stay beautiful. Peace and hair grease.